I'm going to go reveal my secrets so you can steal my job. I'm not going to mess around like I did last time and just go straight into it, I guess. So, off we go. First thing you're going to need is to download vMix, which I assume everyone here already has, since this is what we're going to be doing it on. So vMix, it's a free software you can download. You can get a trial for 2 months, or you can buy it. It's fairly cheap, I think, for you can get out of it. So 100% would recommend to get it. Also, let me turn up the music, because it's very quiet. There we go. I need some music in the background. There won't be any music on the VOD, so if you want to watch back anything later, then feel free to. But yeah, first thing you need is vMix. vMix 4K is what I'm using. I think it costs like $600 to $800, or you can, get a $50 monthly subscription or a free trial for 2 months. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Next, what you'll need is an app called BitFocus Companion. So you can Google it, and then let me open it up. It looks something like this. So you turn this on, you click Launch GUI, and oh, you don't hear anything live? Okay, that's perfect. If you don't hear anything, that's good. Cool. So you'll get something called BitFocus Companion, turn it on, and then you'll click Launch GUI, and it'll open something like this. Once you open this, you'll need to add vMix into this, so you just type vMix and click Add, so Studio Coast vMix, get it in there, and it will show up like this. You can then go onto buttons, and you basically have a free Stream Deck. So if you have a Stream Deck in person, so I got one here that you can see, you can essentially get one for free. So if you look on the screen, you can click mobile buttons, and then you can press buttons here. So if you don't have a Stream Deck, can't afford a Stream Deck or whatever, then that's perfectly fine. You can literally put this on your phone and then press the buttons there, so no issue to do that. But if you do have a Stream Deck, this will automatically connect, and whenever you add a button or anything, it will change the text. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. Hell yeah. Alright. So moving on to vMix itself, when you turn it on, there's a few settings you gotta do that I always recommend for everyone. So you turn it on, go into settings. I always make my preview green and my output red, because it just makes sense. If you do anything else, it's just weird. Then you gotta go to performance, and high input performance mode, make sure you have that on. Otherwise, your vMix is gonna die. Literally. It's gonna kill your computer. It's terrible without this. Alright, so now, once you're inside of vMix, you have Companion set up, your Stream Deck is ready to go. Once you turn on vMix, you go inside, you have 2 blank inputs which don't really do anything. So what I'm first going to add is just a video, which is just going to be a VOD of some CS from this event that I did. So I've got some raw footage here, just so we can practice on it and do whatever we want. However, if you don't have any sort of video file you can practice on, you can just go add input, web browser, and then add it here. So you can do all that kind of stuff, put it in, and boom. Just add it as an input, and then you can practice on it. So let me just click play on this, and loop this, and just mute the audio because I don't want to hear this. So imagine this is, the game or whatever your feed is coming in. It's a bit too loud, let me turn it down even more. Also, the message in the chat, you can use the Stream Deck app for Companion. That's exactly what I'm doing. So as you can see here, if I go to my profile, boom, you can get the Companion button inside of your Stream Deck app. So you can either turn it off, or you can do it in Stream Deck app software yourself. I always prefer to do it this way, because I always add in a bunch of other buttons afterwards. But anyway, going back to vMix, adding your instant replay, you just click to add input, instant replay, and then here you choose where you want to save everything. You can change the quality, so high quality, standard quality, and low quality, and everything is then saved afterwards depending on how much space you have. So right now I'm saving it in my D drive in the replays folder. I don't have much space, but I don't need that much for today because I'm just showing how everything works. And then here you have automatically delete prior video when disk space is low. So that will basically delete stuff, but I never trust this feature because I just don't. Then once you have your input added, you can choose which camera you want to replay. So let me do this. So you can choose your cameras. Basically, you can have up to 8 depending on what kind of vMix license you have. So I've got vMix 4K, so I can only do 1 camera of replays. But usually if you go to a show, they have like the full license, so you don't need to worry about that. And the trial allows you to do more than 1 camera as well, so you can go up to 8. So here, your camera will show up depending on what you have. So you can go to add input, cameras, and then you can add something. So I've got my cam links, but they're not connected to anything. If you have a feed coming in via NDI or whatever, so they go NDI, you have a camera like a Blackmagic deck link coming in, SDI cable, whatever way you do it, you can do it this way. Now, for the sake of practicing, we don't have any of those. We only have this video clip. So one thing we need to do is set up like a fake input. So you can go into settings on vMix, then you click on outputs, and here you have output 1, 2, 3, and 4. So output 1 is always something you're going to be sending out. This is basically your program feed, whatever you're streaming or recording. As you can see, it says it here on the description. Then you have output 2, 3, and 4 that you can play around with. So for output 2, I'm going to select input 1 to be my camera. So this now is output 2, which means if I go to add replays, instant replay, and I select camera output 2 and click OK, now my instant replays are going to look something like this. So if I click record, it's now recording whatever is here. So it doesn't matter if I cut around to anything random. So if I cut to this, as you can see, this is still recording whatever's going on. But now I need to make sure it doesn't automatically pause. There you go. So there you go. This is still recording no matter what is on the program feed. So you can essentially just practice this way. It's kind of like creating a fake input, but it is what it is. It's the best way to learn. So literally you can just go on YouTube, look up a VOD of some tournament or whatever game you're interested in, put it into vMix, and then you can use that as like a camera to practice on. So super, super simple way of doing things. So moving on to some settings that you can do. Once you have this set up, there's a monitors button that you can do, which shows you basically a multi-view of what inputs you have. I don't like using this because it's way too small. Like, it's literally impossible to see anything. I always make a custom multi-view for doing replays, which I'll show you, which is pretty cool. So I always have this off. It's useless to me. I don't ever use this thing. Then you can go into the settings here on the bottom left, and you have session, events, music, tags, and options. So in your options, you have show live source and replay A and B when in live mode. So live mode is this button right here. So what the live button does is if you have it off and you replay something, you will do a replay from wherever you are in the timeline. If you have the live button on and you click, let's say, the last 5 seconds of replay, it will do a replay from what's happening live. So as an example, if I press -5 now and it does a replay, then I press live and press -5. As you can see, the time here is very different. So this clip is here in the timeline, and this one is here in the timeline, right at the front, pretty much. So to answer your question, chat, I always use 100 ms for the fade transition because it looks the nicest, in my opinion. Or you can do a cube zoom. That's also doable. But yeah, always the event transition to be fade 100. That's super useful. But yeah, going back to the settings. So the show live sources and replay A and B when in live mode. I always have this off. It's not really useful for me. Play audio when speed is below 100%. I don't really like when it's off. I love to have audio when it slows down. It sounds pretty cool. Because if you lose audio randomly in the middle of a replay, that just sounds bad in my opinion. So I have this off, but it's personal preference. Then going into tags, I don't ever use this, but essentially what you can do is create tags that you can tag your clips. So you can make a tag called like kill, and then import player names or whatever. Then you can use those. And then you have a drop-down menu when you create a clip and you can give a tag. Music, you can automatically make it play background music. I do not ever use this feature. Then we have events. This is something really cool. Pre-roll and post-roll. I don't ever use this personally. Enable double-click to play event. I do not use this. Automatically sort new events by time. I do not use this either. So the only features I use in the settings are continuous playback after events have completed, which means if you roll a replay and it finishes, then it's going to carry on rolling instead of pausing. So let's say if you're doing a show and the TD isn't ready and your replay pauses, that's going to look bad on camera. So this will make sure the replay carries on playing after the replay has finished. And then this is a really good feature if you're doing a show by yourself. So play events button to automatically transition to output. So this is only useful when you're doing a show, when you're vision mixing, you're doing audio, you're doing everything by yourself, and you're also doing replays on the same screen. So I use this only when I'm doing my own show. And then here you have event names. So this changes the names of these different, essentially, banks or pages or whatever. So you have 20 of them. You can call this one potato, and you click OK, and now this is potato. And then all your clips you have here are stored. So usually when I do a CS production, I call this like map 1, map 2, map 3, and then page 4 is my highlights package. And then map 1, map 2, map 3, highlights package. And I kind of do it this way. Moving on, here you have the session settings. I went through this earlier. Session folder, recording format, the quality, and playback audio source. I always make that on follow, because if you don't, then usually the audio just plays out of one camera. However, if you're doing a replay, let's say you have a cinematic replay or a cinematic angle, and you only want audio to go in from your POV observer, you can choose, oh, I only want audio from camera 1. So that's also very possible to do. So, but for now, I'm just going to set it as follow because it's just what I always use, and I'm never in a situation where I need to do the audio differently. Cool. So, moving on, I'm going to show you guys this instant replay controller and what kind of all the buttons do here. So obviously, here you have your pages. Here you have your marks, so you can select an in point, an out point, and then replay the last 5 seconds, the last 10, the last 20. Here you have the settings. Here you can search. Sorry, not search, you can zoom. And here you have the record button. Here you have A and B. So essentially, vMix Replay comes in 2 different outputs. You have output A and output B. So, God damn it, let me move that. Boom, it's going to be easier now. There we go. Now you can see everything. So, I showed you guys this earlier, the different pages, so that's really irrelevant, I already showed it. This right here, so the A and B function. So vMix has 2 output modes, output A and output B. So if you're really good, what you can do is play a clip on output A, and then play a clip on output B. So as you can see, when I have B selected, I can play a clip here, and then go on A and select a different clip and play that, and boom. So essentially you have 2 replay outputs. But I always use the A and B mode, so it both outputs the same thing. I don't really ever use B because I haven't done a show that was complicated enough to warrant for me to use this. It's just not really relevant for me, so I don't kind of use this feature much. But you can essentially just have 2 different outputs, similar to EVS, for example. You can have output 1 and output 2, and then play 2 different things on them at the same time. So really, you could have videos on one, and on the other one, you could have something else. But I just use A/B. That's pretty much the only thing I use. These 2 aren't the most useful. And then here you can choose which camera is selected on each one. So if you have more than 1 camera, here you have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, blah, blah, blah. Then here you have timeline controls. So you can pause, you can rewind, so you can play backwards. So now the clip is playing backwards. And you can basically switch that around by pressing it. You can also bind it to your Stream Deck. Then this button here, you can autoplay the last event you make. So if I start recording, and I click -5 and make a bunch of clips, this will always, even if I have this selected, it will play the last clip that I selected. So that will always play that replay. Next, you have the play events button. So I use this only when I do playlists. So if I have a lot of replays to play at once, highlights, or I also use this when doing a show myself. So with the setting I showed you guys earlier, in the options here in the events, the play events button automatically transitions to output. So imagine these color bars are the game. So this is your in-game feed. You get a few replayers and you're like, okay, I want to show these 2 replays. So once you made them, you highlight both of them, you click play events, it will automatically transition the replay. And once the time is up, I got my hands up, it's automatically going to cut back. So 3, 2, 1, and now it's going to cut back to your game feed. So if you're doing a solo show, this feature is insanely good because it's always going to go back to whatever you were on your preview. So you make a clip, you click play events, and the replay is done for you. You don't have to count anyone down, do anything. If you're solo running a show and you want to add replays into it, this is a really good feature. You just click on one and then shift click on another, or you can control click for different ones. You click play, it will play this one, then the other one, and that's it. So that's a really cool feature that I would recommend if you're doing a show by yourself. Now loop. when you play a replay or play events. Is it okay just to do it with a Stream Deck, or would it be cool to make a DIY replay controller keyboard? So I personally only use a Stream Deck when I do replays on vMix, that is, because you can customize it to however you like, and once you get used to it, you can get really good and really fast at it. You can obviously use other equipment like the Shuttle Express that I'm going to give away later on, but I would just stick to a Stream Deck doing replays on vMix because it's just easy, it's cheap compared to everything else, you don't need to get anything fancy, it's just really nice and easy once I show you guys how I do everything. So, moving on, here you have the speed selection, so if I play this clip and I press 50%, it's going to slow down to 50. Boom, 100, 50, 25, and then you also have this bar here, so you can make like a slow move. You can also bind this to whatever you want. You can bind it to a T-bar if you have one, whatever you want. You can bind it to an audio mixer, all that kind of jazz. So vMix, you can literally even have a foot pedal control the speed, whatever you want to do. And then here, this button is relevant because we don't have many cameras right now. Now that we know how the replay timeline works, the next thing I'm going to show you guys is the setup that I have for replays. So I'm going to clean this out, and I'm going to go to my companion, which is right here. So BitFocus Companion, this is the app that I told you guys to download earlier. This little thing, if I launch it, this right here, BitFocus Companion. You click Launch GUI and it opens this, and here you can essentially make your own buttons. So if I move my camera to the side, you should be able to see my Stream Deck here. So if I add a button right there and type something on it, as you can see it shows up. So I'm going to create a little replay controller for myself using this application and show you guys what you can do with it. So I have a really specific way that I do my replays. So I always add a few buttons. So you click add regular button, and then in the press actions, you can type in replay and it shows you all the different functions you can do with replay. The most important one is mark functions, which is this one, replay mark functions. You press this, and then I'm going to type in 1S. This is just the name of the button, so you can call this whatever you want. I'm going to put 1S, and then here, function, I'm going to do mark in, out, live, or just mark in, out. There you go, mark in, out. Seconds, I'm going to press 1. And now, what this button does is if I'm recording and I press this button, so I'm going to move this to the side, and I press 1, it makes a replay. It makes a 1-second replay from wherever we are on the timeline. So let's say this video right here, let's go skip to around somewhere. Cut that to live so we can watch. Boom, boom, boom. Where's my controller? Right here. Come on, do something. So there you go. Now I press this, and now it made a replay of the last second of exactly what happened. So, really simple button. So you go add regular button, press actions, replay, mark functions, and then you do mark in, out. So this will create a 1-second long clip. Now, the reason I make a 1-second long clip is because I manually changed the in and out point myself afterwards. I kind of have this button just to have, so I can mark every time a kill happens. So let's say I'm like on my phone or something because I'm not paying attention to the broadcast. I see a kill, I press this button really quickly, and then I can edit the clip afterwards. So this is just there to mark everything. Or you can have the same button, so I'm going to copy and paste it and do 5, and then change this to 5 seconds. Now when I press this button, it will make a 5-second clip, so you can see the duration is 5 seconds. So now when I play this back, that's just a 5-second clip right there, and that's it. And then these ones are all 1 second long. So the next thing I do is once I have these small buttons set up, I create my other ones. So a replay, I go to move selected event in out to now, and I do move the out point. And then, yeah, the replay operator would never be on their phone. Would never. Also, I'm going to send this file as well to everyone, so you can essentially get the same replay companion profile, so you can use it yourself. So I'm going to click regular button. I'm going to type in replay, and I'm currently freestyling everything. None of this is scripted, so I'm going to go ahead and find the thing I'm looking for. Where's the move frames button somewhere? Frames? Yep, I'll send the preset to everyone. Move. I think it's a custom command. So, hello. I need to go to shortcuts, add. So right now I'm just looking for a custom command that I normally use. You can find all the commands here in vMix, so I'm just looking for which one it is. Is it this one? No problem. I'm always happy to help. Where is this? Move event, fast forward, jump frames. The replay. Move selected, event in, out. Okay, there you go. This is the one I was looking for. So, the way I do replays is pretty different than a lot of people, I assume, because I haven't seen anyone do it this way. But essentially what I do is I create a in and an out button, but I create multiple of them. So, this button will change the in point of a clip by 25 frames. Then I copy this across, and this button will change it by minus 25 frames. And I normally put like a little arrow here, in, boom, another arrow. And I do the same exact thing this way. Ouch. There we go. And why is this like that? Come on. There you go. As you can see, it looks very disgusting, but it is what it is. So there you go. This is the out. Move out point by minus 25. And this will move the out point by 25. So, let me remove these for now. So now I have 6 different buttons. I mark a button, or I mark a clip, and then I can change the in point and the out point by pressing these. So, if I turn on instant replay, let's say I see a kill. If it happens, it's not going to happen, is it? Let's just skip to like here somewhere. There you go. So kill happens, and I press 1. So now I have this clip. Now, this isn't showing the kill. So what you can do is press this button here, the in, and as you press this, it increases the duration. So if I go in right, it changes the in point by frames by moving it right or left, essentially. So you're changing how long the clip is. So instead of having like a really long clip, what I do is just go back exactly to where I want it. And then I can change the out point as well. So I can move the out point forward or backwards. Boom. So let's just wait for another kill to happen. I press 1, and I press the in point a few times. And now if I were to play back this clip, I click play. Boom, there's the kill, and now the clip's done. So as you can see, that was like a really quick way of doing it. So let's wait for another kill to happen. Please kill him. Boom, that happened. I press the in point, and I change the out point to wherever I want it to be. And then I click play, and boom. That's a really quick way of doing a replay that I would really, recommend for someone to do, especially when you're new. And let's say there's a lot of kills happening in the round. So let's give Rainbow Six as an example. Rainbow Six is a really messy game in terms of doing replays because of all the cutting of the different POVs. A kill happens, you press this. Another kill happens, you press this button. Another kill, boom. Another kill, boom. Then you have all these different clips, which are different variations of lengths. So while you have that really long downtime in between the rounds, you can adjust how long they are by just going between the clips. So this is kind of like my panic button. If a kill happens and you're not ready to kind of mark the replay, you just press this button and then come back to it later. So essentially just make those as you go, and then you can just edit them afterwards. Now some other buttons I add, apart from these, is a replay. What is it called? Move selected event and in/out to now. Cool. So this button, we're going to call it move in, or sorry, move out. I'm terrible at this. Replay. Let the come on. Selected. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to call this move in. So this is in out. I'm going to choose move in point. So what I sometimes do is, let's say I have a clip that I want to replay or go back in. So let's say I want to choose this one. So I want to make a replay of this. Or let's say just clip whatever just happened now. So I'm going to go back to the in that I want. And I want it to end at a certain point. So I'm going to click play. There you go. And I want the clip to end now. I can click move out. And now the out point is wherever I am on the timeline here. So that's also the way that I use these two buttons, move in and move out. So let's wait for another kill to happen here on the stream. There you go, a kill happened. I'm going to move the in point back, and then I'm going to click play on the timeline, and I'm going to wait. Boom, I want it to end here. So now I have these two clips, I can play them both. Boom, boom. Now it goes to the next one. And there you go, I've got some really quick replays. And this is also really useful if, let's say, you're doing highlights or whatever for like the analyst desk, and they say, hey, we want to have a clip from like round 5, second 1. So you go back to that round, you can click the last second. So now it creates a point as basically where you are in the timeline right now. Then you can just let it play. Let's say the talent said, oh, I want it to be like a 30-second long clip. So you can just go 30 seconds at a timeline and then click move out. And now, boom, you have a 30-second clip. So these two buttons that I made, the move in and move out, I'll go back to my companion. The move in will change the in point of the clip to wherever you are on the timeline. And the out point will change the clip to wherever you are on the timeline as well. So it's just a way of changing the in and out point of a clip that's already been made in a really nice and easy way. So just to show it one more time, let's play this. Let's skip this somewhere where I can see a kill. A kill happened, I press -1, I go back to where I want the replay to start, which is here, and then let's say I want to show some more context afterwards or whatever because something cool happened. So I'm going to click play, and I want the clip to end now, so I click move out, and now as you can see this clip is 4.75 seconds. You can do this spamming this button as well, but if you want to be very precise, you can essentially just move exactly to the bit you want, and you can pause it and boom, I want it to finish here. You click move out, and now it finishes right there. So that's a really good way of doing things. These are like some really important buttons in my opinion, and what I always use. So these 8 buttons are pretty much the minimum you need. Now some other buttons that I have is a replay, play, replay, play, and I'm going to call this play, and replay, pause, and I call this, there you go, pause. And I know this looks disgusting, I'll make some graphics for this later so the companion preset looks cool. But here I have a pause and play. So, the way I use these buttons is, let's say you get told by your TD or whatever, you know, that they want replays of like this and this, or whoever tells you to. The analysts want it, blah, blah, blah. You select all the replays you want to play, like a package. You click play events, and then you pause it by pressing the pause button. Boom, it's paused. So now you have them queued up, and then when you get counted down, you click the play button. So 3, 2, 1, you click play, and the replays will play, even though you have them selected here on a playlist. So I always do it this way: pause a clip, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause, play. This will always be to control your timeline. Pause, play, pause, play. Very simple, just really nice buttons. I always have them on the bottom right, because when I do my replays, I kind of hold it like a controller. So pause, play, and then clip, move in, out, and I kind of do it this way. So that's kind of the way I do stuff. I will show instant feedback later on. I will show it. But this is the way I do it. Pause, play, pause, play. Cool. Now, moving on to some other buttons that I have. I'm just going to move this around to be in a better place. Boom. Move the in. Move the out. 1 second. And the 5 seconds here. Cool. Now, this is kind of a different way that I do replays compared to a lot of people. I move events up and down. So I don't use the play events feature. I play a clip, and then I press the next one, and then go to the next one manually, instead of selecting them and clicking play events. I used to do this, but I changed it recently because it's more commonly used outside of using vMix. So when I learned how to use EVS, rather than making a playlist for replays, I would have a clip, and then I would preview another clip, and then I would play that one afterwards, then play that one afterwards, and I would manually do every clip rather than having everything as a playlist and then clicking play. You can do it this way if you want, but you have less control. So the way I do it is, if I can find the exact command, replay, which one is it? I think this is a custom command that I need to add. So settings. By the way, me clicking settings and whatever I'm doing now, this is irrelevant to the kind of doing replays. I'm doing this to check what the name of a command is because I never remember. So I just go into functions and I look for it. So that is not the one. That's not the command block. Which one is it? Replay. Okay, there you go. This is the command. So I'm going to have up, and then I'm going to call this button down. Here, I'm going to add a custom command, and that custom command is going to be replay select last event. So replay select last event. And then this one is going to be custom. Replay select next event. So now, when I go into my replays and I press these buttons, I typed in the wrong thing. It should be previous event. So replay select previous event, and then replay select next event. If I'm right, this should make it go up and down. Yeah, there you go. So now, when you press these two buttons here, it goes up and it goes down on your clips. So let's say you have a bunch of replays in the round. This is your first clip. You click play, and then once you want to go to the next clip, you click down. It plays the next one. Then boom, next one. And then boom, next one. And then boom, next one. So this way you can kind of manually do the clips rather than selecting all of them and clicking play events. Because if you play events, you're kind of locked to playing all of them. If you make a mistake and you accidentally put in the wrong clip, you're kind of screwed. So if you do it manually, let's say Anders is casting, and you know how Anders is. He's going to be like, oh, can we please see that Molotov from like last round that happened at this second? And you're like, oh, but he says it's mid-replay while you're already rolling your replays. If you have this, you're like, oh, I can't exactly go and show that now. But if you're doing it manually, so you click play and go to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one, he's like, oh, I want to see that again in slow-mo. So you click this, and boom, you slow-mo it. So you can manually kind of adjust stuff by yourself. If you want to go and replay a clip again, you can, rather than being locked to showing those specific replays. So the play events function, I don't personally use. I always click on a replay, I click play, and then I click down to go to the next one. Next clip. Next clip. And then in my head, I remember what happens in the clip and just go to the next one and next one. Boom, next clip. So let me remove all of these to keep everything clean. And moving on to this. So here I have my buttons, the in, out, my up and down, the pause and play. Thinking, what else do I have? Oh yeah, speed. Speed-wise, I need to find the exact function for it. So where's the button to mute Anders on the stream deck? There is no button for that. But if Anders is casting, you're going to be prepared to put replays on of something you're not prepared to, because he always has like something interesting to talk about. Like he'll randomly come up with like something sick that happened in the round that you wouldn't catch a lot of the time. But if you do have it, then hell yeah, it makes it amazing. So sometimes you'd have to like go back and quickly find it. Is there a way to label clips, or do you just need to remember what they are? So there is a really easy way to label the clips. Let me go here. Let's say these are my clips. You can literally right-click on them here. Boom, right-click, 1, 2, 3. And you can also have a drop-down menu of the clips. So you can have like different tags, and you can just rename them this way. So what I usually do is, so I'm not lost, when I have a lot of replays, I normally name all of my clips. So for example, let's say this is Kenny S 1K, Kenny S 2K. And I always name the previous round, so I know where I'm at in the timeline. So let's say this round just finished, and while, you know, it's the 15-second downtime, I'm like, okay, Kenny S 1K, Kenny S 2K, Kenny S 3K, boom. And I just name my clips like this. And then when I make a bunch of clips now, I'm like, okay, which is the first clip? Oh, I know it's this one because I haven't labeled it yet. So I can just select these, click play events, or I can click boom, play, and then just click down, down, next, next. So that's kind of the way I label them. But all you have to do to label is just right click and type whatever you want. It's a really easy way of doing things. Cool. Moving on, I'm going to show you guys how to do speed. So you can slow-mo replays in a really sick way. So I'm going to go to my shortcuts and look for the exact function name. Replay set speed. And that's set rate slow motion. Set rate slow motion. Okay, so if I make a custom button, I'm going to call this 50% speed. And I'm going to go to replay. No, it has to be a custom command. Custom command. Set slow motion, insert for replay, 0. Slow speed. Which one is it? Replay change speed, replay set speed. This one. I keep forgetting which one it is because vMix is annoying with companion, and some of the buttons don't actually do anything. Okay, so you make a custom command, replay set speed, and then value equals 0.5. I really hope this is the one. So now, if I press this, yes, that is the correct one. Yeah, so Zoom, Thingy, and Blast. Blast does not use vMix for replays, they use EVS. So they use some really nice and expensive machines. And the Zoom is just done through a different way, so vMix isn't used for that. Is it possible to get good sound when slow-mo in vMix, or is it only in EVS? So it depends. So with vMix, you can have up to 120 FPS cameras as your instant replays. So when you slow-mo it, the audio will sound good. Otherwise, if you're on like a 60 FPS camera, if you slow it down, it's still going to kind of sound bad. So just depending on what type of input you have. But if you got a good input, let's say you got a 120 FPS game input coming in, then you can get good audio. Alright, so here's my 50% button. This is my 100% button. Replay set speed 1. So now I have a way to make clips, to maneuver through them, and then set the speed. Cool. So let's wait for a kill to happen. Boom, a kill happens. I press 1. And then I can click the in button to go to where the beginning of it was. I click play. And I want the clip to end right here. Or when he dies. So I end it there. So now, to play it back, what I do is I click on it, and then here it's ready. Let's say I get a countdown, replay in 3, 2, 1, I click play, and then I slow it down by pressing 50%, speed it up, and I say out. So that's a really cool way of doing a replay. Click play, slow it down with this button, speed it up, and boom, clip out. This is essentially all you need button-wise to have some really sick replays and do stuff. I don't use any other buttons myself because I just do the rest manually. This is kind of what I use for every show that I do with vMix. If you have multiple cameras, obviously you have more buttons. You can create a button which lets you do a replay from a certain camera. And it's essentially this button here, mark in out, but all you have to do is select the camera you want to replay. But these are all the buttons I use. I don't use anything else. I know people use a lot more, normally fill up the entire page. But this is, for me, like the sweet spot, especially for FPS games, for CS and stuff like that. I think this is perfect. So, moving on, I'm going to show you guys my ideal kind of way of making myself a multi-view. Because working like this isn't ideal. vMix has its own replay multi-view, which looks like this. I don't like this. I think this sucks, right? Because you always have to see this B replay thing. And then this, every time you like click on something, you have to tab out and blah, blah, blah. I hate this completely. So what I do is I create a new layer, a blank layer, and I call this replay multi-view. And I go into layers, and for my layer 1, I add whatever my observer feed is. Then for 2, I do whatever my replay output is. and I select this right here, and now it places it like this. So now I have an input that looks like that. Now, obviously to make it look cooler and a bit more official, there's a really cool web browser that you can have. This. You can go to Add Input, Web Browser, paste this link in that I will send in Twitch chat later on, and then you have to choose the browser version to be v62, and you choose the input for your multi-view, so it's input 5. So now if I click OK, I get this little overlay on the browser. There you go. So now I click Multiview, and I add this on top, and now I have a really cool multi-view here. So let me rename this to, let's say, OBS1. And I'm going to rename this to Replay. Now you can click Settings, go to Outputs, and make output 3 this input 5, so input 5. And then choose Display to, or whatever display you have, input 5, or whatever you want to do. And now you can move this off your screen. And now look, this is what you have. And then you take this replay controller and you literally resize it to this. And okay, nice. Boom, boom. So there you go. Now you have your own little custom, basically multi-view that you made that looks kind of sick, and it looks better than what's on vMix currently. So I like move this down to the bottom right so you can see a bit better on what everything looks like, or kind of here. So there's a pause happening right now. Let me try and turn on vMix so I can skip this pause. Okay, the round is starting. Let's do an example of doing replays on this. So here's my live button, and I'm going to press this 1 whenever a kill happens. Also, it's really hard to see my stream deck because I got a GoPro right in front of it. Boom, a kill happened, and I skip it back a bit, and I can change it out a bit to wherever you want it. That's a really nice kill, so I can skip it forward a bit and just, you know, change it around, and everyone else died. So there you go, we've got 2 clips. Kind of sucked, but you can essentially just double click them, click play events. Here you have a kill, and then you have another kill, another kill. Or you can click pause, click on this one, click play. Wow, kill's happening. And then you click down to go to the next one, and you have the other clip. So essentially that's the way I do stuff. And yeah, this multi-view is really cool. So I do situation 2 camera angles. If you have 2 camera angles, just literally do this and then put one in there, and then just move this to the side. And you can also resize these to basically fit everything you have, or you can put it on another monitor. Come on, give me a good round of CS. Come on. And yeah, this is basically the Blackmagic the Blackmagic multi-view. Even has audio bars and everything. There you go, that's a cool kill. I'm gonna go back to where it happened. Boom. Okay, never mind, it wasn't even a kill, he missed. I'm disappointed now. Was that a miss? Come on. Give me a kill game. Boom, a kill happened, I pressed the button. Let me open this up quickly. Where is this? I need to change something on my Stream Deck button that I forgot to tell you guys about. A live button. This is a very important one that I forgot. Replay toggle live. So, the live button that I talked about earlier, when you press it, it toggles this. This is a very important button to have, because when you have live and you press this 1, it will clip from whatever is live. But if you have it off, it will clip from where you are in the timeline. So this is a really important button to have, the live button. So let me go back here. And now that we have this button, I can throw that off the screen and start fresh. Let's remove everything. Boom, there we go. Cool. I need to move my Stream Deck in a way so you guys can see everything. Cool. Alright. Come on, give me a kill. Come on. Can something happen? Is CS going to be just CS? Come on. I'm not going to replay that because I personally hate replaying like dev POVs. So something like this, in my opinion, is really shitty to replay. Like, it's just pointless. I hate showing deaf POVs on broadcast. I always only like to show kill POVs. In CS, a lot of the time, you work with a replay observer who's a bit delayed, so they can essentially choose the person that got the kill. And then it makes it so easy to work, because all you have to do is just set the in point, out point, and it's just easy. You don't really have to do much. Boom, there you go. Nice kill happened. And look, I didn't press the live button, so I screwed up. There you go. I'm going to go back, move out, and boom, I have this nice replay. So I'm going to click on it to get it ready. And now I get queued in, replay in 3, 2, 1. I click play. I slow down this kill. Then I speed it up. And then def. And then I say out, replay out. So that's one clip right there. Let me try and skip a bit in the timeline. Get an interesting round. Please give me something with everyone buying, because it's always eco rounds. Not this one. I hate that site. Maybe pistol round will be good. No. Let's see. Is this going to be a good round? I'm trying to find. You know, let's do this one. This will be a good round to do. So here we go. Kill happened right there, and I changed it in point, out. So that's one kill. Then I'm waiting for another to happen. I'm ready to click the 1 button. Is he going to kill anyone? Not right now. Let me just get rid of these. (2v4), are they going to save? Are they going to go for it? Come on. Please get some good kills. There you go. I click 1. It's a nice kill. And then this is another nice kill, but it's pretty closely timed, so I'm just going to make this clip a lot longer. So here you go. It's a 5-second clip. It starts here, and 1 kill happens. 2nd kill, and then it ends there. And now the last kill, I clip that, change the out point a bit. Now I get to the first clip, and I say replay ready, replay in 3, 2, 1. First replay, then next, and I wait for this to happen, and then next, and I slow it down. And that's essentially a way you can do your replays in a round fairly quickly. You just press last 1 second, adjust the in point, adjust the out point. While there's downtime in the round, you can adjust the length of your clip, and then you can play back that way. Or if you don't like doing it the way I do, where you click play and then you click down, you wait for the other kill, then you click down. If you don't like doing it this way, you can just select all of them and click play, and then it counts down exactly how long the replay is. But I personally don't do it this way for instant replays, purely because it's longer to do and you don't have as much of freedom as you do with manually going through clips. So let's say this replay right here, let me click play, boom, play. And then a cast is like, oh my god, that first shot was so good, I want to see it in slow-mo. So boom, now you click on that and you, boom, it's back in slow-mo now. So you have like full-on freedom to do whatever you like and just play it back live. But if you're in a play event situation where you highlight everything at once, and the cast is like, oh, I want to see that in slow-mo, when you click on this, you go to the replay and it's paused. Like, this sucks. You don't have freedom to do stuff. Boom, it's paused. So I always like to do things manually. So you click play, next clip, next clip. Oh, can we see the first thing in slow-mo? Boom, it's in slow-mo. So that's the way I like to do things. Now to think about anything else that I can explain. Because that is pretty much it with vMix replays. It's just all about practice and making a Stream Deck setup for yourself that is comfortable to use. So this button right here, I'd normally put on the right side because I'd like to press it with my thumb because it's more comfortable. And then these buttons, I like to move out of the way so I don't accidentally press them. And then a speed I put like here. I always have a really weird order of putting stuff in places. So I take, let's tab this out. Let's do this round of replays quickly again and see how that works. just looking at the chat. Come on, give me some good CS, please. Please give me some kills. Stop just sitting around. Come on. This is supposed to be a VOD for a charity event, and they're just camping. Come on. Hurry up. Stop sitting there. Just push onto site. I don't want to replay that. There you go. I click 1, and I click play. I want the clip to end here. Boom. So now I have a 3-second clip. So that's one clip. And is there going to be anything worthy of replay towards the end of this? Or is it just going to be that 2K? There you go, so that's a nice kill. And then I click out, so now I have a basically 2-second clip. And I like that as well. Boom. So now I'm going to go to this clip, pause it, go to the beginning of it, and I'm going to play it back. So I'm going to click play. 2 kills happen, I go next clip. Kill happens, I go next clip. Kill happens, replay out. Or, as I said before, you can select all 3 and click play events. Boom. And it's finished. And that is essentially it in terms of replays. Honestly, it's fairly simple, but the whole thing kind of comes from how good you are at using it, how fast you are, how much you understand the game, and pretty much it's all for learning. So you can turn on vMix, you can get a free license, basically a free trial. You can watch this, learn how to do it. You can do everything yourself and just learn how to do it all. Just literally go add input, web browser, and just literally replay a broadcast that's already happening. The PGL Major's coming up, just literally add that onto vMix and just practice doing replays on the PGL Major. Because why not? You literally can learn all of this yourself, and it doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything. Yeah. But now, that is essentially it. I don't know what else to kind of show. I've used vMix for thousands and thousands of hours, but I still learn something new pretty much every single time. There's always something you can learn. Like, for example, if you delete an input, there's a button here where you can restore last thing that you removed. And I never knew this was a thing. So now I do know. And it's honestly changed my life. I never knew that happened. Boom, restore input. But yeah, in terms of feeds myself, when I do replays or whatever, because I see people talking in the chat, yeah, this is a thing. No one knows about this, look. Literally. Yeah, there is a button to confirm close input, but I have it off because I like to close a lot of inputs. But yeah, like, honestly, just go out, learn this stuff. There's nothing stopping you. It's just all about practice. You can practice at home. There's no excuse to, not learning this. Anyone, literally anyone, can learn to do it. You don't need a stream deck. You don't need anything. Literally nothing. With Companion, just literally click web button. Wow, look, you can do replays from your browser. All that kind of stuff. You can literally just use this and then put it on your phone. And as you can see on my stream deck here, the buttons are literally pressing when I do this. There is no excuse for someone to not learn. If you don't have a stream deck, can't afford one, it doesn't matter, just use this. It doesn't matter what equipment you have, it's about how you use it a lot of the time. A lot of the replays I did were with Rainbow Six. I was doing LATAM. So let me show you a few examples. I have it on my YouTube. And I'm trying to find the exact video. But I'll play it and see if you can you hear the audio? Let me try and add it. Add audio output capture, device, and let's do game. Okay, so now you'll be able to hear this when I show you this video. It might be a little loud, so watch out for the beginning. Turn your volume down. Okay, never mind, it's not that loud. Boom. So this is some behind the scenes of when I was doing some replays for Rainbow Six. So if I play it back and full screen it for everyone. and move my cam, I don't know, bottom right, bottom left, top left. There you go, I'll move it here. So, as you can see, I've got my main input here, the replay, and here I have a bunch of different stuff. And here's my setup on my left. And I'm waiting for some kills to happen. I'm going to skip a bit. There you go. So, as you can see here in the clip on the side, someone's going to run outside and kill someone. So they jump out and they kill someone here. So I'm like, oh, my hands are not on my stream deck. I'm back in the chair chilling. And I'm like, oh shit, a kill happens. So I'm like, okay. As you can see, I click one button and this creates a clip right here. And then I spam the move in point and the out point button. And boom, I've got the clip done. Simple. Then another kill happens, and I'm like, okay. And then I repeat the process. And I repeat the process, I repeat the process. Okay, off-topic questions. Have you ever worked with API stats that's being shown on overlay? Kills, deaths, damage. If so, how did you put them into vMix? But only heard about it being a JSON file. Okay, so I created something for League of Legends with someone called Dan Shields and Phil. Hello, Sucker, how are you doing? I'll see you in Copenhagen soon. So I hired Dan Shields and Phil, some developers, to essentially create me a custom HUD for League of Legends. And the way that worked is it created a text file which would read every like 500 milliseconds. However, I used OBS for that. So I had an OBS machine, and I essentially just had OBS output that to my vMix through NDI. So I didn't do it directly in vMix because vMix tends to be a bit slow updating. But if I do an example and I go to title, and let's go to scoreboard, something like this. If you have this, you can right-click title editor and go to your score, which is here, and then data source, you can essentially add one, which is a JSON file, and then you find it, and then you can choose update data every X seconds, so you can do it every, I don't know, 500 milliseconds or whatever, and this will update the data. So vMix isn't always the most reliable to do this sort of stuff, in my personal opinion. For stuff that needs to update all the time, it will update every 100 milliseconds. So you can try and do it this way. But personally, I would use OBS and then send the feed from OBS into vMix to do it that way, pretty much. But yeah, that is essentially everything replay-wise. It's mega simple. Mega simple to do, honestly. Like, replays are really easy to do, but it's really hard to master because you need to know what you're replaying, show what you're doing, kind of convey the story. But a lot of the time, it's just, when I do a long show, I don't even think. I literally look at the screen, I'm like, oh, a kill happened, and I press 1. A kill happened, press 1. A kill happened, press 1. And then I select everything and replay, I'm like, and then someone says, oh, dude, that was a sick replay package. I'm like, yeah, I know, that was really good, I tried a lot. But, you know, you're gonna spend like 10 hours just looking at the screen. You're eventually just gonna fade and phase out, and you're just gonna see a kill, you just replay. But at the beginning of the show, you're gonna be all happy and everything, all hyped up, you're gonna be showing some sick replays, but towards the end of the day, you're just gonna go zombie mode. And that's it. It happens every time, trust me. Happens every single time, and if someone says it doesn't, they're lying to you. Eventually, people are just they're gonna fade out, they're gonna phase out, be a zombie. But if you can stay sane the entire way through the show, then props to you. Especially if it's for a game that you're not a fan of that much. But CS can be very long days as well. So eventually, if you're like best of threes, series 3, map 3, you're 12 hours into the show, you want to go to sleep, you've been setting up all day, you're tired, you're bored, and you just want the game to finish. Yeah. FNCS, no, NAW on FNCS was the best. NAW is 100% the best region. But yeah, this is honestly, that's really it. It's, I do have another behind the scenes video I can show you guys. Let me find it. Where is it? Is it this one? There you go, this is the one. So this is some behind the scenes of when I was doing replays for Rainbow Six again. This was for a show called Rainbow Six LATAM. So it's basically the Latin America Pro League for Rainbow Six. Best region, EU sucks, LATAM's the best. And this is just like a time lapse of me doing stuff. So you can see I create the clips, I go through them to make sure I've got the correct lengths, and then afterwards I select them and I click play events. So you can do it this way. And what I did with this show is I thought, you know what, I want to do something interesting because the game was pretty boring. There weren't many kills happening. And I'm like, you know what, I want to make this, I want to make a really cool replay package at the end of the game, but I want to make it unique. So what I did is, as you know, in Rainbow Six, it's really hard to observe. So catching all the kills a lot of the time is near impossible. So let's say someone got an ace. In this situation, one of the players, I think it was Luke Dera, he got an ace. Or who was it? No, it was Hunter. Hunter got an ace. So this guy called Hunter got an ace. So what I did, because only 2 of the 5 kills were shown on broadcast, I was like, how can I show this ace as a replay when we only caught 2 of the kills? So what I did is, during me doing replays, I would tab out and go into Photoshop, and I created a graphic player of the game, Hunter. I put the player image in, and then I was speedrunning Photoshop while the prep phase in Siege was happening. So you get like a minute and a half, basically, to do whatever you want. So during that time, I was making a graphic. And if a kill happened, I would replay it, and then I would tab out, and I would create like a graphic. So I'm like, boom, ground floor basement, and I would create a graphic showing exactly where each kill happened. So there you go. I would like put an X where it is, and then put an icon down, and then I would essentially make a replay clip where I would show this graphic and then show the kind of highlight reel of the ace happening. And then you could see, oh wow, this was like where the kills happened. So you can kind of spice up your replays by like doing stuff like this. And with Rainbow Six, because we had so much downtime in between every round and the games were so long, we just wanted to try and innovate something rather than just doing nothing. So a lot of the replay packages, they would be, if I can show an example, there's a really cool video that I have. I need to find it. But what we would do is, rather than showing just a highlight package, we would edit a video post-game and then play it straight from Premiere Pro. So I'm going to find the exact clip and show you how it was done, but it was really cool. I was really happy with how it came out. Is it this one? I'm trying to dodge my microphone. Okay. So this entire thing was done post-game. So we had about 2 minutes to create all of this. This was a post-game highlights package. And everything you see on screen is done basically from my vMix, essentially. So the way I did this is I would take all the replays, I would quickly export all of them, put them all into Premiere Pro, and then edit from Premiere Pro, and then you can NDI from Premiere Pro into vMix. So I essentially exported the clips, and then I put them into here. So play. Let me do that. Yeah, so it would finish the highlights, then it would show a stinger, and then show the team that won, say victory, and then this is out. There you go. So here you go. I'll play it again. So it would show the stinger, show a victory graphic, and then I would say out, and then we would cut to the ads. But essentially, just, you can do anything you want with vMix. Literally anything you want. Like, you're not locked to doing one single thing. You can just be creative. Now, someone else asked about how you can do a zoom. So, yes, I'm going to do a Photoshop and After Effects tutorial as well. I'm going to do everything. Let me show you this. Let's say you want to do a zoom. So I'm going to add a new input, and I'm going to call this replay zoom. Boom. So replay zoom, and I'm going to put it right here so it's easier. I'm going to click this multi-view button, and I'm going to add in the replay here. So now this is like a fake kind of a replay screen. So whatever replays I have, this is here as well. But on this one, I'm just going to go to position, and I'm going to do zoom. Just get Max to press the zoom button. Yeah, exactly. So you can zoom this to however you want, right? You do this. So now, as you can see, you have one input like that and one input like this. All you need to do is, this is the replay. Wow. You're done. That's it. Just click the merge button. And it zooms in. That is literally it. There is nothing more complicated. That's all you gotta do. Just press the merge button. And then you can get more creative with that and do other stuff. So I think I have an example of a way that we used it before. Let me find it. Is it this clip? It's one of them. Nope, that's not the one. I'm trying to dodge under my microphone so I can... This one. There you go. So here, you can see there was a spawn peak, and I wanted to show a really cool replay of it because it was really hard to see and it was quick. So I start the replay showing the kill, and then I play the clip again and I zoom in like this, and I show it in slow-mo, and then I zoom out and then carry on with the rest of the clips. So that's one way you can use a zoom feature in a replay. You essentially queue up the replay twice, and then just slow-mo the next time and just zoom in manually. And you can do it that way as well. And the cool thing is, with this zoom feature, if you have a play events, like this, so actually let me make this clip really long. There you go. So let's say you have this, it's like a 20-second clip. If you merge and stuff, the playlist will not stop, it carries on playing. So you can zoom and do that kind of stuff. Yeah, the merge feature is amazing on vMix. It's really, really good. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything more to add, really. I think that's just going through everything that Replays has to do. Obviously, you can do your own thing. You can make it look like anything you want. You can configure it to the way you want it to be. My Stream Deck is different to everyone else's. It looks like this. I actually have a picture of how I made it look before to make it look nice. Let me find it. This somewhere. Tweets and replies, because I tweeted it recently. Someone asked about getting info back from vMix on Stream Deck. Is that possible? Yes, so using Companion, if I show you, it depends what kind of info you want. Here, instance feedback. Instance feedback is instant feedback. I'll show it in just a sec. I'm trying to find this. Where is it? There you go. So this is how my Stream Deck looked like when I was doing Rainbow Six. I just basically made graphics and made it look nice. Play event, pause, play, record, live, update in, update out, move in, move out. And I essentially did it this way. And I just made it look cool. So you can just make it look how nice you want. I always like to make things just look cool. So this is stuck here, but this is my like... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Shit. There you go. Where is it? This. See, don't move your Stream Deck around when you're trying to show something. But this is essentially how I made it look. It's probably really hard to see because of the lighting. Yeah, this is like terrible to see. But essentially, I just make stuff always look nice because it just looks cool. And if you have a cool looking Stream Deck, it just adds to your mental throughout the show. So when you're 12 hours in and sad, drinking only Red Bulls, you can just look at your Stream Deck and see colorful buttons because everything else is sad and depressing. So you can create all of this. But yeah, getting instance feedback. Is that Stream Deck for cam angles within maps TJ sending? Yes. That's what a lot of people do. So you press a button and it runs a, I think it's a HLE thing. You can ask Frosty, he's in the chat. Mark, he's the cinematic observer for Blast, cinematic delay observer, cinematic observer, POV observer. He's insane at what he does. So if you have any CS questions, I guess you can ask him. But essentially, you have a Stream Deck and you choose which angle you want. And I'm pretty sure there's few out there that are free to use as well, and like have been released by people as well. But going back into vMix, I'll show you the instance feedback thing. Here, feedback. And you can have all the feedback you want. Boom. So you can make vMix, or sorry, the Stream Deck show stuff. So you can make it show when you're live on program and stuff like that. So you can give this to an observer as well, and an observer can have a red button on their Stream Deck if they're live on stream. And you can choose which input they are, so you can be like OBS1. So now, if OBS1 is live, on the Stream Deck, this button will be red, and you can give this to an observer and stuff like that. How you stream remote replays into Studio with NDI or RTMP? What about delay? So, now this is the complicated bit. There's many ways to stream replays remotely. One way is, I never use NDI bridge or anything like that. I don't use RTMP. You can use something called SRT, which is basically RTMP, but way nicer quality. Yeah, SRT or remote into a machine. SRT, Google it. It's basically RTMP, but not shit. If you're doing things locally, I use NDI, or I use physical cables. However, what you can also do is, let's say you have 2 PCs, or 1 PC and a laptop, you can connect it locally, but have your replay operator connect via Parsec or something like that. Oh yeah, SDI over NDI any day. Any day. I personally, what I use in my setup is, so I have my main PC here, I have my observer PC and my replay PC. Here I have an Elgato 4K, so I can receive 4 HDMI. And then here I have a Decklink monitor. And here I have a Decklink monitor. And then these go in via HDMI into this PC, and then I add it into vMix. That's the way I do it when I have it locally, and then people just connect in remotely. So, boom. Oh. There we go. Parsec. So this is my current setup. It's fairly cheap for what I'm using it for. So I have replay, OBS. So this is my mini home studio setup, and then I use NDI to go observer to replay. NDI. That's my mini home setup because, you know, it's cheap, it looks good, you don't need anything more. If you're doing it online remotely, what you can do is, this is your producer machine, and this is someone else on the other side of the world doing replays. You can send it via SRT or via RTMP. You can do it those ways. Yeah, you can do it on cloud machines, but that's like really expensive. What are your specs on your in-house replay and OBS? I have no idea. They have like 20-something series cards in them. I don't know. I haven't checked. But yeah, you can use SRT and RTMP, and there will always be a delay. SRT, you can have minimal delay. Like, you can sometimes have like very, very low latency if you're like local. So let's say you're sending UK to UK or US to US. Super, super cheap. Sorry, super, super quick latency. RTMP is always longer, but you just got to get used to it. You got to make sure you tell your TD in advance when you're rolling a replay, and they should, you know, be aware of how the workflow works. So, yeah, that is essentially that. Let me move this. Boom. What else is there? But yeah, that's pretty much it on the replay session, I guess. I'm gonna go full cam with my amazing transition that I made today. There we go. Cool. Oh, did my light turn off? Can't believe it. I think it ran out of battery. Yeah, it's gone. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. So that was my little nice purple light in the back. But yeah, that is essentially everything for today. And yeah, I don't really know what else to do. Oh yeah, I need to give away that shuttle thing. So I need to find it because it's somewhere in my room, and then I'll give it away in chat. So let me go onto Stream Elements. Let me put some music on that you probably can't hear, but I can. Okay, let me run this giveaway. Okay, giveaway, shuttle, express, giveaway. Boom, ticket cost 0, maximum tickets 1. There we go. So now you should be able to type !ticket 1 to enter. Let's hope it works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, apparently no one's entered it according to... Okay, you know what? I have a better idea. I have a way, way better idea. This is going to be amazing. Okay. Type 1 in chat if you want to join. Type 1 in chat, and I'll get everyone in, and I'll spin the wheel. Hey, anyone else? Come on, press 1. Anyone else? Come on. TV44. Anyone else? You know, I'm going to enter as well. Alright, you got 10 seconds. Okay, Apprentice, you're out. You didn't press 1. Alright. I really hope you win soccer, so I don't have to send it. I could just give it to you in person. Alright, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Wow. Congratulations. I shall hit you up later. That was close, Medics. That was very close. But you're an observer. You're not a replay guy. You gotta stay as an observer. Rainbow Six needs you, okay? Rainbow Six needs you and Easy. Because it's not easy. But that is it. Alright, do I have an ending stream? Stream? I think so. But yeah, I'm going to upload everything to YouTube. It should be up in about an hour-ish. I'm going to make sure the VOD is there. If you need anything, hit me up. I made a Discord. If anyone wants to join it, I put it in the Twitch panel at the bottom. So if you scroll down, there's a link to the Discord. There's also a link to a Dropbox. So any tutorials I do, I'm going to be uploading all the files there so you can access anything you want. And that's never going to go down. And yeah, that is it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. What time is it? And the UFC is starting soon, so we're finishing right on time so I can get to watch it. But yeah, if you guys need anything, just DM me on Twitter and I'll help out. But yeah, go practice. Tweet at me if you do anything, if this helps you at all, and then let me know what you want next. If you want Photoshop tutorials, After Effects, Premiere Pro to edit videos, create stingers. As an example, this right here, this right here took me like 20 minutes to make. It's super simple. If you saw how it's made, you'd be shocked. So I'd be happy to teach everyone how stuff like this is done. So let me know what you want. Just tweet me and I'll get it done. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.